Was there ever anyone that Zeus himself feared? The answer is yes. And the story of that fear shook the entire universe. Picture this: Mount Olympus, the eternal home of the gods, suddenly empty. Zeus, Poseidon, Apollo, Athena, Ares, all of them gone, fled, disguised, hiding. The most powerful beings in existence, running like frightened animals from a single creature rising from the earth below. This is not a minor myth. This is the story the Greeks told to explain volcanoes, earthquakes, and the very existence of chaos itself. This is the story of Typhon, the last monster, the greatest threat Olympus ever faced. And the terrifying part? He nearly won. To understand Typhon, you need to understand one thing first: rage, a mother's rage. After Zeus defeated the Titans in the great war known as the Titanomachy, he threw them into Tartarus, the darkest, deepest pit beneath the earth, chained, suffering, forever. Their mother, Gaia, the earth herself, watched this happen, and she could not forgive it. So Gaia did something no one expected. She didn't raise another army. She didn't negotiate. She went to Tartarus itself, the primordial void. And from that union of earth and void, she gave birth to something the universe had never seen before: Typhon. Ancient sources struggle to describe him because language was never built for something this vast. From the waist up, he was a man, but a man whose head scraped the stars, whose arms stretched from the far east to the absolute west, blocking out the sky. And from the waist down, not legs. Hundreds of enormous vipers coiling and hissing across the landscape for miles in every direction. He had not one head, but 100 dragon heads, each one breathing fire, each one screaming in a different voice. The roar of a lion, the bark of a dog, the hiss of a serpent, the bellow of a bull, all at once. All the time, never stopping. His wings blocked out the sun. When he walked, mountains collapsed. When he breathed, entire cities burned. Typhon was not simply a monster. He was chaos itself, the primal force that existed before the gods, before order, before the universe had any shape at all. Given a body, and pointed directly at Olympus. When Typhon first rose from the earth and marched toward Olympus, the gods did something completely unexpected. They ran. Every single one of them, Zeus included, at least at first. The gods fled all the way to Egypt. And here is where the story becomes almost darkly comic. To avoid being recognized by Typhon, the gods disguised themselves as animals. Zeus, king of the gods, master of thunder, became a ram. Hera, queen of the heavens, became a white cow. Apollo, god of light, transformed into a crow. Artemis, the great huntress, became a cat. And Ares, the god of war, the embodiment of battle and bloodshed, he became a fish. Yes, the god of war hid at the bottom of the Nile as a fish, but Zeus could not hide forever. The king of the gods gathered what courage remained, armed himself with his master lightning bolts, forged by the Cyclopes in the fires beneath the world, and descended from the sky, alone. What followed was the most catastrophic battle in the history of the universe. At first, Zeus had the upper hand. His lightning bolts struck Typhon again and again, scorching his serpent heads and driving him back across the mountains. Victory seemed within reach. Then Typhon made his move. In a moment of terrifying cunning, Typhon grabbed Zeus and tore the sinews from his hands and feet. The divine tendons that gave Zeus his godly strength ripped from his body, stolen, hidden in a dark cave, guarded by a monstrous she-dragon named Delphine. Zeus, king of the gods, master of thunder, lay helpless on the ground. For a moment, Typhon had won, but the story wasn't over. Hermes and Pan crept into Delphine's cave. through trickery and distraction, with Pan's wild music echoing through the dark tunnels. They stole back the sinews and returned them to Zeus. What happened next was absolute. Zeus rose, restored, and this time he held nothing back. He pursued Typhon across the sky, across the sea, across the burning earth. Lightning bolt after lightning bolt rained down, each strike more powerful than the last. Mountains flew through the air. The sea boiled. The sky cracked open with light. Finally, at the island of Sicily, Zeus lifted the entire island from the sea and slammed it down onto Typhon, burying him forever. That island sits there to this day, and beneath it, Mount Etna, still breathing fire through its crater, still trying to escape. So, why did the Greeks create him? This is the question that separates mythology from mere storytelling, because the Greeks were not just trying to frighten their children at night. They were trying to explain their world. Look at where Typhon ends up, under Mount Etna. Every volcanic eruption, every earthquake that shook the Greek world, that was Typhon. Not random, not meaningless, a monster with a reason, a force with a name. The Greeks turned the terrifying unpredictability of nature into something they could understand, and ultimately defeat. But there is something deeper here. Typhon is not just a natural disaster wearing a mythological mask. He is chaos itself, the state the universe existed in before order arrived. And the Greeks understood something that most civilizations prefer not to think about. Order is not the default. Order is something that must be fought for, constantly, against forces that never truly disappear. That is why Typhon had to lose, but could never be destroyed. You cannot kill chaos. You can only contain it. Push it underground. Hold it there with the weight of civilization pressing down from above. And there is a third layer. Perhaps the most fascinating of all. Typhon reveals that even Zeus has limits. Greek gods are unique in world mythology. They are not all-powerful. They feel fear. They run. Zeus ran from Typhon. Zeus was defeated by Typhon, temporarily, humiliatingly defeated. His power literally stolen from his own body. This imperfection is not a flaw in Greek mythology. It is the entire point. Power without vulnerability means nothing. Victory without the genuine possibility of defeat is not victory at all. Zeus defeating Typhon means something, because Zeus could have lost. Typhon was never killed. Let that sink in for a moment. The greatest monster in Greek mythology, the one being who brought the gods to their knees, who stole the power of Zeus himself, was not destroyed. He was buried, contained, suppressed under the weight of an entire island. Every time Etna erupts, according to the Greeks, that is Typhon, shifting in his prison, still alive, still furious, still waiting. The Greeks built an entire civilization. Art, philosophy, democracy, science, architecture that still stands today. With that exact knowledge underneath them, that chaos was not gone, that the forces that had nearly unmade the world were still there, just below the surface. Maybe that is the most honest thing about Greek mythology. It does not promise you that the monster is dead. It just tells you, we pushed it down, we built something on top of it, and we keep building. If this story moved you, if you want to go deeper into the darkest, strangest, most extraordinary corners of Greek mythology, subscribe to Stories Greek Mythology. Every week, we uncover the stories that shaped the ancient world and the ones that still shape ours.